I'm acutely aware, because of the situation with Russia's war on Ukraine, that I have to be careful what I film. But on the other hand, I'm thinking that this is, I mean, it looks as though it's painted up as some kind of touristic thing, doesn't it? Doesn't it? I shouldn't get into trouble for filming it. And I do see some stairs going up there, some very nice stairs. I wasn't expecting them to be that nice, which if I could access them, I think that would take me up to the higher ground I was hoping to reach. But, gosh, I should say something about the fact that Przemysl was fortified very, very heavily during the time of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, going right back to the end of the 18th century. There were ideas to fortify the town because of its perceived value geographically. As a result of that, a lot of forts were built in a circle which, from one side to the other, if you were to slice the circle in two, or to go east to west, north to south, we're talking approximately about 16 kilometres roughly. It was a huge circle fortification around the old town, with the river running through it all. And I'm thinking maybe some of this wall dates back to the 19th century, because the actual construction didn't begin until the 19th century. The Austro-Hungarians having an on-off, we're friends, we're enemies relationship with the Tsarist Russian Empire of the day. So this is obviously a very well-trodden path, which plenty of Polish tourists, and if you're a Polish tourist who's visited Przemysl and you've come here and taken the same route, let me know. Tell me where I'm wrong. Tell me where I'm right. Fill in all the gaps I've left and will be leaving in the history of the place. This is the Sanocka barrier. Sanok, that is a town, I think it's pretty much the last town in the far southeast of Poland before you would cross into the Carpathian border into Ukraine. Used to be very popular and much loved, that territory, by Polish hikers in particular, and people on pilgrimages. Here we have a little bit of history. The main part of the levy of the core of Przemysl fortress was formed in 1887. A fragment located on steep slopes of Zniesienia over Zanok route, due to bigger technological difficulties and costs, was formed as late as in 1897 to 1899. I'm wondering if I've got somebody else's teeth in today. Tripping over my words. Partially, the core in this territory was made in the form of a brick wall. A similar problem occurred on the slopes of Vinogora, where a section of the core was made in 1897 to 1896 in the form of an earth bank, creating characteristic terraces. Okay, this is going to get tedious for everyone concerned, isn't it? Listening to my voice, certainly. So, let's not do that. Let's walk on, do a bit more walking and a bit less talky. Here outside, we've got some maps. If you want to go on a serious hike, which I'm not looking to do, And here's the entrance. Quite appealing, actually, isn't it? I would say that tourist information aren't at home at the moment. And the fact that tourist information aren't at home at the moment, that only serves really to make me be able to sell this as a, here I am going off the beaten track, the lesser walked route, when Polish people, that's a joke. Probably half of Poland's been here and walked along the Brama, Forteczna, Sanocka, Dolna way, or whatever they call it. I guess I need to go this way. It's so funny because I haven't planned this out at all. I was just thinking I might see a gap in the forest and a way to walk up. I was even thinking, because I looked on the map and saw something, I thought to myself, what the heckety heck is that? Is it a gondola which goes up? You see here from this car park, it appears as though maybe there's a gondola starting here and going up to the top where it says Stok Narciarski. Maybe there is and I'm just incredibly short-sighted, but I haven't seen the gondola. I wasn't planning on taking it because I'm not gondola riding talky traveller. I like to stretch my legs a bit. But here we are. In theory, according to the map, there's something which may or may not be a gondola running from the car park over there, but I don't see it. Who cares? Well, maybe you will care. Maybe you think, I'm not going unless there's a gondola ride involved. I want a gondola ride. It will be part of the enjoyment for me. I'm sorry. Maybe we'll see a gondola or be able to confirm, no, there's definitely no gondola when we get to the top. Meanwhile, I better watch my step. You know what my track record's like. And you know what? I've been incredibly lucky with the weather again. I wasn't necessarily going to definitely do this little walkie today, but when I looked at the weather forecast for the next 3 days, looks as though there's quite a bit of rain coming in tomorrow and the next day. A walk like this isn't something I want to do on a hot day, but it also is what I want to do on a wet day. I'll stick to the city centre and maybe even jump into a few museums, churches, places of interest, alleyways, archways, whatever's waiting for me in the old town. We will see more of that either later today, if this proves to be a shorter trip than I anticipate, a shorter walk, or might be under an umbrella today or tomorrow or the next day. We'll see. Sovietsky Traditor, whatever that is, 130 metres that way. This way to Brama Fortu, 16th century, 3 crosses, whatever that is. And also this way, Brama Redanu na Zniesnieniu. Okay. Oh, you can also go 130 metres this way for the Sovietsky Traditor. And 530 meters, Brahma Sanotska Dolna. So that's that way. So that would be going back. Well, that's odd, because I've come this way and I thought I was at the Brahma Sanotska Dolna point where I began this walk uphill. Yes, what do I know? That looks like a bit of a fort up there, doesn't it? I think I want to go this way, because then I'll be visiting, hopefully, starting from roughly this red heart, the Brahma Sanotska Dolna. I will have reached that point in well under a kilometre, half a kilometre or something, and then maybe I can continue to this point, but I'm really not sure. We'll have to take it as it comes. So let's see if we can find this fort. That's what I'm actually looking for. First things first. Now I'm wishing I've got even more time in Przemysl. Or am I? A heck of a lot of work's gone into reconstructing this fort, which I'm grateful for, because, you know, I think if you left it in a state of ruin, sometimes it can work, sometimes it can't. Sometimes you want at least a few examples of what the structure actually looked like complete. And I don't mind, therefore, if somebody takes the trouble to completely or 70% rebuild. It's not like the only Parthenon or the only Stonehenge where there may be some sort of debate with regard to historical integrity. Infantry post by 3 crosses. During construction of a new part of the core from earthwork by 3 crosses to Sanok barrier at the end of the 19th century, an infantry post was erected. Okay, it's a potted history, therefore you've really got to be interested in potted histories rather than just the casual walker, the casual historian. Somebody who finds things interesting but isn't wanting to know the absolute fine detail, the height of the doorway, and particularly what type of rifles they were using. So the Soviet Russian artillery were here. There's that word traditor. From 1939 to 1941. So this is when this part of Poland was a front line during the German invasion and then the Russian pushback. Well, of course, it was an agreement between Germany and Russia. Let's carve up Poland. Poland has been carved up, of course, historically in the past, and it was only later in the Second World War that Stalin decided to renege on the agreement, and which he never planned to keep, as did Hitler. They made for strange bedfellows, didn't they? Yes, must be curious when you're in a situation where you agree to carve up the country next door to you, your neighbour, and to share it and use it as a sort of buffer zone, while at the back of your head both sides are knowing that, yeah, in theory at least, the idea will be, when it comes to it, we'll fight each other, but not on our homelands, until we're ready to invade fully, of course, and completely take over our partner's empire. Meanwhile, we'll reinforce old 19th century fortresses and ditches and dikes and artillery gun points. And we'll just wait until suddenly, who blinks first? But I guess that's what you're going to get with a communist ideal of world domination, world communism, set against a fascist idea of a Third Reich to rule the whole of Europe and beyond even. Oh, and again, it just goes to show you don't have to do a huge amount of background work. You can find 3 crosses. So this is the 3 crosses they mentioned. And I was expecting 3 crosses, but right next to a big gates, a fortress, a brick wall. And not for the first time, of course. I'm completely wrong. Przemysl walking route, coloured diagonally light blue and yellow by the seams of things. This might be a good time to tell you about my new sunglasses. If you're still awake, that is. Yesterday, the small screw keeping the left arm of my sunglasses in place came out, and I couldn't screw it back in. I got it half in using my fingernail, but I obviously don't travel with a tiny watchmaker's screwdriver set. And I asked the cleaning lady in the hostel, just in case, the handyman or something would have a set of screwdrivers. But no was the answer. And just by complete luck, when I went to the nearby supermarket, which is only a 10-minute walk away, a Carrefour, very nice big Carrefour, you can get everything you want in there. But if you do go, I suggest you go no later than early afternoon, otherwise the cakes and pastries and sandwiches and things tend to run out pretty much. Certainly by the time I got there, it was, I think, 4 o'clock, and there were slim pickings. The same, sadly, the hot food counter, pretty much nothing left. So do go either morning, lunchtime, yeah, 4 o'clock, pretty much had it. But I managed to find myself something. I digress. These sunglasses, Dunlop sunglasses. How much do you think I'd pay for them? I was hoping to pay next to nothing. I decided I would upgrade because basically when I tried them, I realised these are fully polarised compared to the sunglasses I had with the now detached arm, yes, they're sort of partial polarized, but they've certainly been good servants since I picked them up in New Zealand all those years ago. These, fully polarized, which is fantastic. However, what it means, and I had no idea this is what it would mean, frankly, with these sunglasses on, something about the polarizing of the lenses prevents me being able to see the screen on the phone. So it's just black, completely black. I noticed as soon as I was outside in the sunlight wearing them, and I can't actually punch in the PIN code to get access to the phone. And when I go to film and select video mode rather than photo mode, I've got to remove the glasses at least a little bit because it's just completely black. Who would have knew? But that's what polarization of lenses does, it seems. But just under 22 zloty. So what's that these days? Ballpark figure, £4 British. I was pretty pleased. How convenient. A couple of nice benches along the way. I'm going to veer off in this direction, off the path I was taking, just to see the view. Oh, hello. No, I haven't set this up. No, I didn't plan it this way. Of course I didn't. I'm not that smart. But having said that, just zooming in a bit. Okay, so there is a gondola system of sorts. Does any skiing take place here, I wonder? Whew. Right. Didn't expect it to be as developed as it is up here. So while it's a path less travelled for many folk, certainly there are loads of people who come here and enjoy the nature. I'm guessing there's the end of the gondola. It's like a school group, and I guess they took the easy way up. Why sweat and knock yourself out when you've got lots of more playtime to have throughout the rest of the day? Useful map to try and work out how you got here. I think, well, I didn't take this route, did I? I came up from here, and I was really close to the gondolas at some point, so if I'm here now, I don't think the little path I took from Brahma Sonotska Dolna is here, unless somehow I did join it at the fort. Maybe that was the fort. I thought that was just an artillery placement they were talking about back there. Or maybe that was the fort and I just wasn't paying attention. Anyway, I'm here now, and I want to see what all this is about. Should be directly over there, I think. Oops. Oh, there is indeed some nice panoramic scenery up here. And there's also a heck of a wind blowing. Hostel. Can I pick out the hostel? Not really.